Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about astrology and Simone Biles. And Simone Biles, I say, is already a legendary, renowned gymnast and artistic gymnast, I believe, is what she is. And she has gotten into some news lately for some wrong reasons, nothing to do with her, but her brother has been accused of some triple homicide. At this time, I'll talk about that a little bit in this video, a little bit about her chart and a little bit about this current situation with the brother. Now, as far as her chart goes, I could see where she could be very talented. Now, the rating was like a C on Astro.com, so remember that this is a little bit speculative, this chart, but I'm going with it because I don't have anything else right now to go with. So we'll go with that chart, the C rating on Astro.com for her Pluto right on her on the Sagittarius ascendant. She's got Sagittarius ascendant. Of course, that could denote, that could give an affinity for sports and athleticism, which is projected very outwardly. She has very athletic build. She also, and Pluto on the ascendant could give power in this as well, someone that can dominate in this area, and perhaps this is how this manifests in sports ability, which is projected very outwardly. And also too, she has Mars in Virgo in a grand trine, and the Mars is right by her MC. The North Node is right by it, so that that Mars in Virgo energy. Mars can be about our competition, and being in Virgo, hardworking, industrious Virgo, well, you get the idea. And also, her competition, I believe, involves her competitive, where she competes, involves a lot of precision, a lot of meticulous attention to detail, a lot of that Mars and Virgo energy. The North Node conjunctive is, of course, tied in with the future and the destiny. So that's a very good, as far as a very good aspect for that, and also being involved in that grand trine along with Neptune in Capricorn at 29 degrees Neptune. She was involved on Dancing with the Stars competition, I believe, and of course, Neptune can be about dancing. Capricorn is a sign associated with ambition, and also the moon in Gemini involved in that sixth house, in that grand trine configuration. Dexterity can play a little bit of a role in gymnastics, I think, and that could be that emotional need, or that need to really show, to do something, connect you with dexterity. And anyway, and also Gemini is about mobility, of course, and that is, and these planets in that grand trine do fall all in what I call the money house, the 10th, the 2nd, and the 6th house. So anyway, as far as her brother goes at this time and being accused of that triple homicide, well, one thing I noticed, she has Pisces on the 3rd house cusp, which could show that the situation with siblings might be a little bit unclear, a little bit nebulous, a little bit confused. She had been asked to comment on this, but she apparently had no comment on this. Now, what's interesting is that she has Cancer on the 8th house cusp, which could indicate perhaps family, in some isolated cases, being involved in murder. 8th house I see being associated not just with death, but could be with murder as well. Aquarius on the 3rd house cusp can show erratic and sporadic, maybe connection with siblings. There was some speculation by some people talking about this I saw in a YouTube video. It was a video of some television show, and it showed that someone had speculated that maybe Simone Biles didn't want to give any commentary on this because maybe she might not have the best connection with her brother, and she'd be reluctant to say anything in connection with this. Now, she also had transit Neptune in the 3rd house at this time, has it in the third house at this time, so this could indicate perhaps some kind of incarceration or in connection with a sibling, or some kind of confusion in connection with one as well, where a sibling might be somewhat nebulous or unclear or vague. Or and also too, she has transit Black Moon Lilith in Pisces in the third house. Now Black Moon Lilith by transit can often indicate revelation or unveiling, and it could be something about maybe in this case a sibling not being who he or she thought, or in this case she thought he or she may be, that there was maybe there's an illusion that was unveiled. Maybe she had a certain perception of the sibling, and it was really, now it's almost like the revelation is really coming out, perhaps in this. Remember, but I mean, it's just he's been accused. I mean, he hasn't been convicted of anything yet, but I mean, this is just, if he has, then so. If he has actually done this murder, then so be it. So, and also she has Saturn in the fourth house, which could indicate some kind of restriction or limitation with the family at this time. And the thing too is, looking at this, is that just based on the transits, it's not really that surprising or bewildering what has happened as far as this goes. Now, with the Moon in Gemini, I mean, Moon in Gemini could be very reluctant to talk about things of a personal neighbor. Remember, Gemini is the sign associated with siblings. Moon in Gemini can be very valuable, so to speak, on worldly matters, but really very more inhibited in terms of ones that are of a more personal nature. So I think this is some of the ways that this is really panned out as far as her chart goes in relation to as far as as far as her brother being accused of this triple homicide. You could see in her chart why she would be somewhat reluctant and apprehensive as far as talking about this. And I mean, really, it's a shame, because I mean, she's got, I mean, and also she has Mercury in Pisces being in its detriment and fall. So, I mean, even despite having Moon in Gemini, Mercury in Pisces may not be the most loquacious sign, and may not really, they can maybe be mute. So, well, they kind of mute themselves maybe more often than they need to, kind of mumbles the word, so to speak. And the conjunction of her sun to this in Pisces can shine the light on this energy. And also, given that she has and also the Moon in Gemini making an opposition to her ascendant in Sagittarius, not only shows that really her subconscious nature, what have you, is in opposition to the nature she projects very outwardly, assuming that this chart is accurate. Again, it is a C rating, but anyway, Moon in Gemini can be, I mean, really about, they want to just maybe tell people what they want to hear on a subconscious level. But when you're talking about Sagittarius rising outwardly wants to express their veritable truth, no holds barred, be very blunt, and sometimes even tactless to the point of demoralizing others. So I mean, you can see where you have that energy and that tension as far as that goes. And also too, again, going back to Moon in Gemini, does not often want to talk about things of a personal nature. In the fact that the Moon makes the opposition to her Senate, it means she could be somewhat inhibited in expressing her feelings and just in general. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out. And again, I mean, going back to her strong Pisces energy in her chart, that she is very strong dreamer, and about being very idealistic, wanting to make the fantasies and dreams come true. Sagittarius rising, something sports related, of course, this being, these dreams of Pisces being acted on with a lot of exuberance, enthusiasm, and expansive energy. So And again, I mean, she's got all, I mean, according to this chart, she's got all, energy at the four, what I call these four corners of the chart. Those four made the angles of the chart, if you will. The 10th house cusp, the first house cusp, the fourth house cusp, and the seventh. She has at least one planet conjunct all of them, and they could be fame indicators. Again, Pluto on the first house cusp, the Moon in Gemini on the seventh, conjunct the seventh house cusp, and she has a planet, at least one planet on the fourth house cusp in her chart, and Mars in Virgo is conjunct the 10th house cusp. Again, that could be very prominent, play an integral role of while she's been very successful in terms of some kind of athletic competition connected with her career, and done with this meticulous attention to detail, a lot of precision and a lot of hard work and industry. And I hope this all gets, one way or another, there's closure on this sooner than later. And it must be an overwhelming distraction for Simone Biles at this time. And having all that Pisces energy, especially with the Sun in Pisces, even though assuming this chart is correct and she has a Sag rising in Gemini, what it tells me is that she's a lot more sensitive inwardly than what she's projecting outwardly. Pisces emotions can be all encompassing, and what's happened now is she just, but it's hard for her to show it superficially. If she does indeed have a Sag rising, it's really that what me worry type image and outlook and what's being projected outwardly. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment, and until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.